We're in Guayaquil in Ecuador, which is a river city about 50 miles inland. We've got to pull the Modoc out of the water, and the refit is long overdue. You need professional guys that know what they're doing on this, especially with Modoc. You know, she's 80 years old, big old girl, been eating well, she's quite fat.
Now we're getting pulled out of the water, and that's actually quite exciting.
And there's the old bow thruster tube. So a bow thruster is a small propeller that you can drive the ship to port or starboard. The problem we had with this, it was so unreliable. I'm probably going to just put plates over because it does slow the ship down a little bit with those two open holes. That's one of the jobs. The ship is covered in sand. They use a type of grit for sandblasting the hull, and it takes away all of the paint, all of the rust, ready for painting. And there's this grit all through the ship, all through the sleeping quarters, the galley, living room, all of it is covered in stuff. Upper is no good. Fucking dust everywhere. Is the anchor and chain, so it's all getting sandblasted and 2 coats of primer and then a top coat on that. Anchor chain, finally getting some love. Upper doesn't like the shipyard. It's not a great place for a dog. The trouble is, as soon as we get outside the gates, it is gangland. You do not stop inside gangland. But there's no parks around here for us to run Upper. So I run him 3 or 4 times a day around the shipyard, but it's just not a great place for a dog. I mean, Upper's super tolerant and he puts up with it. Come on, Upper, let's go. Just chasing a cat. I kinda don't really mind. The propeller's off. Next job we're going to take out the drive shaft. That is proving problematic with the boys. Drive shaft. So my propeller shaft has had a bit of love. It's looking all bright and shiny. So the reassembly is happening now. We put the shaft bearings back in last night. Now the prop shaft's going in. Then the propeller's going on. Rudder's going back on. Then we're back in the water. Putting a drive shaft in or taking a drive shaft out, it's a very delicate operation, even though the shaft itself is super heavy. It's a series of pulleys, or in this case block and tackles, to get exactly lined up. Boom, in the hole. Final day, boat going back in the water in about 2 hours. little bit of paint to do, bit of framing to pull off, check the gland packing, into the water. Happy days. This has turned into a circus today. We were supposed to be in the water 2 days ago. They faffed around, finally started work on putting us back in the water, got halfway down, and this big excavator thing down here blew a hydraulic line, been faffing around another hour. Now there's people running around, there's a few hands getting thrown in the air. There's a guy down there with a jack, he's busy jacking away.
They're just puffing around. I don't think they're making themselves look busy.
So it is now 3 a.m. and the guys are making their second attempt to try and get us out of here. Waiting for the next tide. Super frustrating to be here.